2, 1.
7 things you probably didn't know you need to know. I'm Jamie East and this is the Smart 7.
Good morning, it's Tuesday the 11th of January and it's National Step in a Puddle and Splash Your Friends Day. Blimey, and a big happy birthday to Mary J. Blige, Jamie Vardy, Rachel Riley and Emile Heskey.
7.
Both Tory and Labour MPs have been calling for VAT cuts and higher taxes on gas and oil producers to help bring down bills as energy bills are set to rise. Boris popped up yesterday to reassure people that he's been working with Chancellor Rishi Sunak to find a way to tackle rising energy costs.
Well, I understand how difficult it is for people. I understand the pressures that people are facing on their on household finances. We've got to help people, particularly people on low incomes. We've got to help people with the cost of their fuel, and that's what we're doing.
But while Boris was taking questions on energy prices, one question he wasn't answering was over yet another Downing Street lockdown party. An email from Boris's private secretary has emerged in which he invited more than 100 staff to Number 10 and told them all to bring their own booze to make the most of the lovely weather. Boris apparently attended, although we don't know if he brought a bottle of Jack Daniels or a six-pack. This was during the lockdown while you weren't even allowed to sit on a park bench. Labour's Deputy Leader Angela Rayner says many people who missed funerals and didn't see family during lockdown would be disgusted at this latest party revelation.
It's disgraceful and he should be ashamed. Nobody is above the law, including Boris Johnson, and he has to pay for his mistakes. If he's made these mistakes, he should come to the House, tell people what he's been up to, and then he should reflect on that. Not only does it seem that Boris Johnson was breaking his rules, but he's been lying to people as well, and this is completely unacceptable and not what we'd expect from the British Prime Minister.
6.
It's been an eventful few days for Novak Djokovic and his fans, to say the least. Despite winning his Australian visa battle and being released from an immigration detention hotel, there's still a chance he could be deported if the government overrules the court decision. Novak said he was now focused on playing the Australian Open next week and tweeted a picture of himself already on court at the tournament venue. His family, on the other hand, were focused on giving a press conference in Serbia. His brother, Georgie, defended the tennis player's decision to not get vaccinated against COVID.
Novak has been called many names in many different press and countries around the world, but Novak is only fighting for the liberty of choice.
But things got a bit sticky when they were asked about Novak being pictured in the days after he tested positive for COVID in December.
Was he at an event on the 17th of December? Belgrade.
Okay, so this press conference is adjourned at the moment. Thank you for attention.
After Russian troops were called into Kazakhstan over the weekend to help restore order following violent riots, Russia's President Vladimir Putin has claimed the country had been the target of international terrorism. He said he believed protesters had been trained in terrorist camps abroad and warned Russia would never allow revolutions in the region. Meanwhile, Russia's been downplaying threats to invade Ukraine following reports 100,000 troops were sent to the border. US diplomats have been meeting with Russian officials in Geneva to try and calm tensions. Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Rybkov said talks have been difficult and urged the US to tread carefully in its approach to discussions.
We urge the US to be as cautious as possible, particularly to avoid any kind of exacerbation of confrontation.
Levelling Up Secretary Michael Gove had his own levelling up problems on Monday when he got stuck in a BBC lift for half an hour. Back on the ground and in the Commons, he warned housing developers that they must pay to fix dangerous cladding on homes. It comes in the wake of the Grenfell fire, where flammable cladding was discovered in hundreds of blocks of flats across the UK. He also said there'd be consequences for anyone who missold unsafe cladding or cut corners.
Those who knowingly put lives at risk should be held to account for their crimes. And those who are seeking to profit from the crisis by making it worse should be stopped from doing so. We are coming for you. I have established a dedicated team in my department to expose and pursue those responsible.
Still to come on the Smart 7, FA Cup delight for Man United, and Mary Berry's got a royal appointment. Right after this. Welcome back.
The The final game of the third round of the FA Cup was on Monday night as Man United faced Steven Gerrard's Aston Villa. It was a relatively straightforward 1-0 win for United, who now go through to the fourth round where they'll face Middlesbrough. It was summer signing Rafael Varane's first FA Cup game for Man United, and he was pleased with how it went.
Yeah, it was an intensive match. Some moments during the game we had to suffer, and we was together, and the spirit was good. Clean sheet and the victory, so that's very good for us.
Gogglebot star Scarlett Moffat's revealed she's made a documentary exploring the rise of Tourette syndrome and tic disorders in young people during the pandemic. She may not be the obvious choice of documentarian, but Scarlett in fact suffered from facial tics as a child after being diagnosed with Bell's palsy. She said the show was a passion project to make, although she felt a bit like James Bond because she wasn't allowed to talk about it.
I've learned so much. It's nothing like I've ever done before. It's all about Tourette's and tics and lots of things around the pandemic, social media, and how it's affecting young people. But I met some wonderful, wonderful people who've now become friends. I can't wait for you to watch it.
Scarlett Investigates will be shown on Channel 4 later this year. Do you think you can make a dessert fit for a queen? Well, the nation's being challenged to bake a pudding to officially celebrate the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. The winning recipe will sit in the history books alongside coronation chicken, which was invented in 1953 for the Queen's coronation. Who knew? One of the judges is Belgian pudding expert Regula A. Savain, and she gave ITV News some advice on what they'll be looking for.
This pudding will become part of this historic moment, so it is quite something. You can be part of history, and we want people to actually look at the life of the Queen and the work of the Queen, because she has done so many amazing things and she has such a character, so there's so many things to take inspiration from for the pudding.
It'll also be judged by Mary Berry, although the last time she was involved with the royals, she was a little saucy with Kate.
Do you want to have a squirt on a cake?
Yes, do you like? Can you show me how to do it first?
This has been The Smart 7. Wherever you're listening, do us a favour and hit the follow button. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Have a great day.
Written, produced and published by Daft Doris.